Hey there, and a happy new year. Welcome to 2018. We've taken a break during the busy part of the year, holiday period, but we're back now with episode 12. So welcome to Real Screaming Kayaks, and on this episode we have Destination Coromandel. We're back for another visit with a 3-day adventure that you're just not going to want to miss. I mean, I team up with Damien Trounsden and Jeff Force, and we head off up the top of the peninsula chasing kingfish. What is an epic trip to Channel Island. Then in the Understanding Fish Finder section we have a bumper issue this time round where we feature a whole heap of different screenshots, and in particular some recordings from the side imaging which are just stunning on my new Helix 9 Mega Chirp unit. On top of this we also have how to process an albacore tuna. This is a real handy one, especially with us getting into summer and the blue water coming in close to the coast. We announced the winner of our bi-monthly competition, so tune in to find out who collected this month's prize. All this and more coming up on Real Screaming Kayaks episode 12. Good first fish, and it's off! Screaming! Back in episode 2 of Real Screaming Kayaks, we visited Coromandel, and as with many locations in New Zealand, there's always unfinished business, especially when there's so much country on offer. A spare of the moment opportunity gave us 3 days of good weather, so this time we would explore 2 more locations. This trip I'd be joined by Damien Trounsden, who's a Coromandel local and a keen kayak angler, as well as Jeff Force from the other side of the Firth of Thames. Our first day would be focusing on the Firth of Thames, and it started early morning with a launch at the Kirata boat ramp. Damien and I headed up the coast, fishing the shallows in close before spotting a whole bunch of birds working out by the middle next to the mussel farms. Alright, it's good to see these guys making a bit of a comeback. This is on a little micro jig, a Zest sling jig. But yeah, not big enough to keep obviously, but the colours on this fish, I love these gurnard, you can see that, beautiful looking, and they've, we'll see if we can grab hold of them. You've got to watch the heads on these guys, they've got some really nasty spikes, but there you go, have a look at those fins, beautiful fish, love the colours on these guys. We'll let them go, it's a little bit small, but it's great to see them making a bit of a comeback in this part of New Zealand. Bit better, eh? Good start out at the mussel farms in the middle of the Firth of Thames. Saw some birds working, so we thought we'd come out here, and Damien's into a nice one straight away, dropping the jig down. Well, here we are, day 2, and we're up at Port Jackson. Beautiful spot up here, and we've got a really good weather forecast. Hoping for some good things, so let's see what happens. I'm with Damien, who's also using a Old Town Predator PDL, and we're going to be joined this evening by Jeff Force. We're camping out at Port Jackson Dock Campground for the night. Great spot this for kayakers, right on the beach, launch where you're camping, and the fishing potential out here is just endless. There is so much coastline. We're out here looking for hopefully yellowtail kingfish. I don't really want to jinx this, but yeah, so let's go out there. This is the afternoon. We're hoping for good things. We're going to fish till the evening and then come in, so let's see what happens. All right, into one. Got the micro jig down, and we've sort of come around the coast a little bit to a nice little spot where there's a bit of mark, bit of wind happening at the moment. It's supposed to drop off. However, this feels like a pretty reasonable snap. Feels like a snapper, and yeah, first fish of the day for me, and it feels great. Peeling a little bit of line. Of course, I haven't got my drag done up hard, but you know, the idea with the micro jigs is not to have too much drag on them, because what happens is you pull the hooks, especially if they're hooked in the corner of the mouth. Nice to feel something decent anyway. Our first day was a little bit tough, and we're sort of anticipating some good fishing today. So hopefully this afternoon brings some good things till the evening. It's a bit of a slow bite yesterday morning, but today's looking pretty good. Nice. Happy about this for my first fish of the day. Good eating size snapper. Wow, hooked up on something really nice this time. It took off, did a run, and I'm basically chasing it down now. Out in quite deep water, 39 metres. Yeah, it feels like a good fish. And Damien and I have been pulling up quite a few fish, but now finally it's Damien's turn to get something better. Well, hey, feeling good, eh, bro?
Yeah, just gotta.
Definitely got the telltale sign of a snapper with the nods coming off the end of his rod. And interestingly, Damien switched to a slow J just before, and he's got the green one on. I'm resisting the green this time, but yeah, looks like a pretty good fish, mate. Oh yeah, I can see a bit of colour there. Oh, nice fish, bro. First thing in the morning, day 3. Wow, what a day. She's stunning out here. We've got a really awesome forecast today of variable 5 knots in the morning and going northeast 10 knots this arvo. So perfect conditions to head out wide to our destination, which is Channel Island. Hopefully we get there, although there's so much water in between, who knows, we'll be fishing that. There's plenty of places to fish on the way through. Out at Channel Island, and Damien got here a little bit before me, and he's hooked up into what looks like a pretty good kingy actually, giving him a bit of a sleigh ride. He's being towed. Keep getting a wind on it, bro, don't give it nothing. Point the rod forward, bro. And use the kayak to lift yourself, bro. Give it heaps, man. They'll take you in the rocks. Awesome. She's all gone. She's gone down into the deep again. Oh, there they are there, look. All right, into a kingy. Good to see you hooked up. How's it feeling, mate?
About time. The one's actually stayed on.
Awesome. Awesome, eh? You know, we're out here and having a blast with the fish, and what do you know? Dolphins. It doesn't get much better than this. Bloody slow jays, eh? This is a great fish. I've hooked up again. We're out off channel and this has got some serious weight to it. I don't know what it is. This episode features my Humminbird Helix 9 Gen 2 Mega. Our first screenshot is a classic example of a reaction when a whole bunch of fish show up on the sounder, and as you can see they're there from about 12.5 metres to 18 metres. What I've done is deployed a jig as I've passed over these fish, and you can see it dropping down on the left hand side from 6 metres down to 12. But the interesting part about it is all those fish come up to meet that jig as it comes down. And that's one of the coolest things with these type of screenshots and what you're seeing, because it gives you the ability to feel confident and know that the fish are actually coming up to meet your jig, and that allows you time to be ready to react. The final view is what looks like a whole lot of debris sitting on the bottom of the seafloor over sand, and when we zoom in and have a look at it, it's clear that this is probably what it is. However, there are also potential for fish to be hanging out in this area. Any sort of debris is something that attracts fish to investigate it, and where they'll look for food or anything else that could be attached to it. For more information on Humminbird fish finders, visit the website. For more top fishing tips and techniques, head down to your local store and grab a copy of New Zealand Bay Fisher magazine. Warmer waters showing up due to hotter conditions this year are bringing in the tuna. So here's a tip on processing.
So we're here with Herb, and Herb's going to show us how to fill it up with one of these albacore tunas. And let's see how he does it. It's going to be fascinating. Herb?
Well, you know, once the fun has stopped catching them, the hard work really starts.
Yeah.
And that's probably what I like least. But it has to be done because, you know, we only go out there, you know, fishing for food.
Yeah.
So processing them, of course, they've been on ice all night. So I'll just show you how I take the 4 fillets off.
Win some fantastic prizes during every episode of Real Screaming Kayaks. There's some awesome items useful for both water sport and fishing enthusiasts, like a range of Fog Dog batter and breadcrumb mixes. Keep the body warm and protected with shark skin and ridgeline, and increase the lifespan of your gear with Salt Away and Pro EPT spray lubricant. We're giving away one of these prize packs during every show of Real Screaming Kayaks. To go in the draw to win this prize pack, you'll need to subscribe to the on-demand Real Screaming Kayak section on our new Vimeo channel. So please come over to the Vimeo channel to watch the full extended version of Real Screaming Kayaks. Special thanks to our sponsors. Outdoor Sports New Zealand provide the Old Town kayaks and Ocean kayak that get us to the action. Humminbird provides the technology that finds the fish. Railblazer customises our kayaks. Sharkskin protects the body against the elements. Neptune assists with the freediving, and Pelage captures the seafood. Jigstar rods fight the fish, and Zest jigs attract the fish.